Alright, we should be live. I'm going to give it just a few seconds until I get the YouTube notification and we've got the all clear to get started. And then we'll get things going with our live severe weather coverage. So, once I have verified that we are indeed live on YouTube, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, looks like our feed is being picked up, so we are officially live. Right now I'm watching a tornado warning north of Interstate 70 near Ladonia, Farber, Vandalia, Missouri. These are actually two separate areas of rotation that the National Weather Service has warned right now. So if we switch over to our velocities, you can see we have some rotation in here, and then again back there towards, this is Mexico, Missouri. So Mexico, you guys should already be in your safe spot, so continue to seek shelter. And then Martinsburg, Missouri, Rush Hill, Ladonia, Farber, Vandalia, Curryville, and eventually Bowling Green, you guys should also be in your safe spot, taking those tornado precautions. Please note, guys, that this is probably not our main live stream for the day. There will be another one. We're just here right now because we have a few tornado warnings and I want to go over our things pre-event. So, as many of you may have seen, we had a couple tornado warnings in the St. Louis area earlier when our MCS was moving through. And then that kind of all washed out. We're going to have a little bit more daytime heating, and then our main threat is going to come through with these storms. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning east of Joplin, west of Springfield. So this is for Sarcoxie, Stotts City, La Russell, Mount Vernon, Hoburg, Missouri. So 1.75 inch hail, 60 mile an hour winds, considerable damage threat. That's for northeastern Newton County, Lawrence County, and southeastern Jasper County. So that's producing golf ball sized hail. That hail core is right on top of Sarcoxie right now. So if you're in Stotts City or Mount Vernon, bring those vehicles in. And Sarcoxie, you should be in your safe spot away from windows. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning for St. Paul, Kansas for 1 inch hail and 60 mile an hour winds. So St. Paul, Kansas, be sure that you're seeking shelter away from windows. Then we also have some severe thunderstorm warnings in southern Indiana. Most of these are pretty baseline for hail of up to 1 inch and some winds of up to 60 miles per hour. But if we look at velocities, this one actually has the tornado possible tag. It's kind of hard to pick out, but we may see some pockets of rotation in there. So be sure to keep an eye on that. So in these areas, in our yellow polygons in southern Indiana, make sure you're seeking shelter away from windows, inside a sturdy structure, securing those loose objects. We do have Storm Chaser John McKinney's feed on the left. He is currently near, let's see where he's near. Cottage Hills, Illinois, and he's going south. All right. He has given us permission to use his live feed. And we also have some severe thunderstorm warnings in Michigan. And some very strong damaging winds with these. Warned for 60 miles per hour. These aren't even really thunderstorms. I'm not sure what we've got going on. So those areas, just make sure you're seeking shelter inside a sturdy structure. And then out west, we have two special weather statements in El Paso County, Colorado, near Colorado Springs. That's warned, actually one now, and that's warned for 0.25 inch hail and 30 mile an hour winds. So that's pea-sized hail with that. So just keeping an eye on all of these threats, but main concern is our two tornado warnings near Mexico, Missouri. So once again, if you're in Mexico, Missouri, you should already be in your safe spot. And then Ladonia, Rush Hill, you guys are under a new tornado warning in Vandalia, so you should all be in your safe spots. This is radar indicated right now, so we probably don't have a tornado warning on the ground, but the National Weather Service has noted the potential for these storms to produce. Give me just 1 second, everyone. I will be right back. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that. As always, though, if you have any questions, please be sure to drop those in the live chat. I'll be keeping an eye on it as frequently as possible. Severe thunderstorm warning on the Missouri-Illinois state line near New Canton. Actually, that's not new, but that has the tornado possible tag on it for some rotation, and then 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So in Hannibal or Ashburn, Missouri, New Canton, Eldara, Kinderhook, Hull, Barry, Illinois, you guys seek shelter away from windows and be prepared to move into your tornado safe spot if a tornado warning is issued. Really want to hammer this home today because we do have the potential for intense to even violent tornadoes, in my opinion. Make sure you know your severe weather safe spot. So that's going to be basement, storm shelter, and if you don't have access to either of those, interior-most room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, or have a place to go ahead of the storm. The main risk area, things haven't even fired up. This event is just getting started, guys. You see a few cells firing down here. Is going to be the Paducah, Mayfield, into southeast Missouri area, where we have a PDS tornado watch. That is rare. That is the first one of the year. So particularly dangerous situation tornado watch, effective 2:45 to 11 p.m. Several tornadoes and a few intense tornadoes likely. So once again, PDS stands for particularly dangerous situation. That is nothing to joke about. So make sure you know your tornado safe spot. We have severe thunderstorm watches in effect for portions of western and central Missouri, southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, and extreme northwest Arkansas, along with central Illinois, and then tornado watch for central and southern Illinois, western Kentucky, southeast Indiana, west Tennessee, northeast Arkansas, and much of Missouri. Once again, mainly keeping an eye on these two tornado warnings. Do have some, seems to be developing rotation near Ladonia, Missouri, Ladonia, so keeping an eye on that. Today we do have a level 4 to 5 moderate risk of severe weather, so let me get that up to show you all. Put that there, and then this. Okay, so that red area that you see, that's our level 4 out of 5 risk. That is really weird. It's showing yesterday's outlook. So I don't know why it's doing that, but that red, which includes St. Louis, much of southeast Missouri, portions of Kentucky, and southern Illinois, that is our level 4 out of 5 moderate risk with the 15% hatch tornado risk. And then checking on these mesoscale discussions. This one is for 140 to 170 mile per hour tornado. Let me turn off the overlay really quick and show you all this. So monitoring for increasing strong to intense tornado potential, and that's highlighted over southern Illinois. You can see most probable peak intensity tornado is 140 to 170 miles per hour, hail 2 to 3.5 inches, and wind 55 to 70. So they're monitoring the supercell development in that area. And then concerning this tornado watch, also 140 to 170, increasing risk for all severe weather hazards this afternoon into evening. Greatest tornado threat through 23Z. I believe that's 7 p.m. Central, maybe 6. And then one or more tornado watches will eventually be needed. That's highlighted over much of Arkansas and northern Mississippi. That one a little bit lower for the peak probable intensity, but still 120 to 145 mile per hour tornado. Nothing to mess with. So we'll go ahead and get back to our radar here, keeping an eye on these two storms. And thankfully it does appear that our rotation near Mexico, Missouri kind of dissipated, is one way to put it. But our rotation near Farber, still keeping an eye on that one. So Mexico, Missouri, you guys are good to get out of your safe spot. Van Diver, I'd wait another 5 minutes. But then Ladonia, Farber, you guys should be in your safe spot. And Vandalia, you guys want to be there in the next 2 or 3 minutes. We've got 2 people watching and 6 likes right now, so if you have not already, please be sure to like the stream. It's completely free and helps out a ton. We need as many people to see the stream as possible just so that they can see what we've got going on this afternoon and evening. Other than those 2 tornado warnings, not the most to talk about. Looks like our storm in southwestern Missouri has another severe thunderstorm warning to the south of it for another hail core popping up. That one's warned for golf ball sized hail as well. And this one's been upgraded tennis ball sized hail, so this is not a good situation. Stott City, Missouri, you need to be in your safe spot now, not for a tornado, but for hail. So make sure that you guys are getting away from windows. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in northern Iowa. This is in effect for another 37 minutes. We've got hail up to 1 inch and 60-mile-per-hour winds, so quarter-sized hail. So Elma, Iowa, north of Alta Vista, you guys just make sure you are getting away from windows, seeking shelter inside of a sturdy structure. Other than that, not too big of a concern for you. Severe thunderstorm warnings all over the Columbia, Missouri area. So if thunder roars, get indoors. Definitely want to be avoiding that lightning that's moving through right now. Tornado possible tag on that, but not too worried about any tornado threat for you. Just a couple kinks of rotation in this sort of cluster we've got going on. And then hail up to $half size and 60-mile-an-hour winds. That should be through the majority of Columbia within the next 15 to 20 minutes. Once again, can't guarantee how long this stream will be. This is just kind of a check-in to go live. We'll be live again later for our main threat. In my opinion, the main tornado risk is going to be about 5:30 Central to 10 p.m. I know Max said 5:11, so I'd agree with him. I'm just being a little bit more picky. Who knows why? But that tornado warning, I don't think it included Bowling Green, Missouri earlier, but Bowling Green, Missouri, you are under a tornado warning now for a rotation approaching you. That should be there within the next 15 to 25 minutes. So Bowling Green, Missouri, seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. We have a special weather statement in eastern Kansas. That is for Fort Scott, Kansas, and that is approaching the Missouri border. That is for nickel-sized hail and wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour. So gusty winds could blow around loose objects. That hail core is right over Uniontown right now, approaching Redfield. So just seek shelter away from windows and secure those loose lawn objects. Honestly, though, we may only be live for another 5 to 10 minutes just because we don't have too much concern. Kind of silly to go live at this time, but I did want to get on and check in. But if we have this storm produce before I'm ending off stream, we'll stay live. So just keeping an eye on this rotation approaching Vandalia, Missouri now. I guess we can pull the overlay back up, so we'll get Mr. John McKinney. There's our PDS Tornado Watch, by the way. That stands for particularly dangerous situation, so those counties shaded in red are under that through 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Put that there. And then there we go. So Storm Chaser John McKinney, once again, he is in Southern Illinois, currently near, actually I'm not sure if he's in Southern Illinois. He's near Bethalto, Illinois, moving south. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I will try my best this evening, as always, with pronunciation of town names, but it's never a guarantee. So if I pronounce something wrong and you know how to say it, please let me know in the live chat for future reference. Once again, they're not watching too much right now, so we may end off our stream soon here. Just to reiterate one more time, though, Vandalia, Curryville, Bowling Green, and Terrence, Missouri, you guys need to be in your safe spot. You're under a tornado warning. Mexico, Missouri, you guys are good to go now. Let me see if our moderate risk will load on the SPC now. Okay, so their site is doing something weird. This is our categorical risk from yesterday, so the enhanced risk, but these are working. So there's our tornado risk. You can see that SIG2 area in the brighter black outline where it's strong lines rather than just a hatch risk. So that includes portions of our 5, 10, and 15%. So that red area, the bright red, is my main concern. Everybody's main concern. And then there's our 45% damaging wind risk. That is another threat that I believe is driving our moderate risk. Actually, it's hard to tell because I can't have the categorical, but that might be enhanced. I'm not 100% sure with the new SPC outlooks. And then we have our enhanced risk for damaging large hail. That's also a SIG 1. So obviously our main threat this afternoon and evening is going to be the tornadoes. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of this brief live stream. We will be back live again later. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, be sure to drop them onto my community tab. But I will see you all in the next one. Stay safe out there, and peace out.